Welcome, students, to today's Explainer. As history scholars diving into regional Indian empires, you are going to absolutely love this one. We are unpacking the massive geopolitical and cultural weight of the Bahmani Sultanate on the medieval Deccan Plateau. We're talking about a kingdom that literally redefined the cultural, economic, and political landscape of South India.
So, let's kick things off with a fundamental question. How exactly did a rebellion shape South India? I know it sounds a bit wild, but honestly, answering this is the absolute starting point to understanding the very DNA of the Bahmani realm.
All right, here is our roadmap for the Explainer. We'll hit the rise of the Sultanate, check out the dynastic timeline, explore their cultural innovations, look into religion and trade, break down Deccan geopolitics, and wrap up with their decline and successors.
Section 1. Rise of the Sultanate. The ambition of Alauddin Bahman Shah.
Okay, so to understand how this sultanate kicked off so dramatically in 1347, you have to picture the geopolitical tug-of-war happening on the Deccan Plateau. You've got the Delhi Sultanate up north, and their power is seriously declining. Meanwhile, down south, the Vijayanagara Empire is on the rise. This creates a massive power vacuum. It's a totally volatile setting, and a brilliant, visionary military commander named Alauddin Bahman Shah stepped right in and eagerly exploited it to carve out his own kingdom.
Now, what is truly fascinating about Bahman Shah's rebellion of 1347 is that it wasn't just your run-of-the-mill power grab. It was a deliberate, fierce assertion of regional identity. He rallied local nobles to kick out those distant Delhi rulers and set up an autonomous Muslim state right in the heart of the predominantly Hindu Deccan region. By putting his capital at Gulbarga, he was basically saying, we are going to preserve and elevate the Deccan's unique local traditions. It created this incredible intermingling of cultures.
Section 2. Dynastic Timeline, a procession of power.
This era gave us a really rich tapestry of rulers, and each one left a major, distinct imprint. We start with our founder, Bahman Shah, in 1347. Fast forward a bit, and we have Muhammad Shah, who heavily enriched the culture by bringing in Persian scholars. Then Mujahid Shah comes along and drives serious military expansion. After that, Mahmud Shah oversees these massive architectural peaks. Under Ahmed Shah, the city of Bidar really flourishes as this amazing hub of learning and religious harmony. And later, Humayun Shah swoops in to maintain vital administrative stability. So you see, this timeline isn't just a list of dates. It actually charts an empire's entire evolution from raw military expansion into deep, sophisticated culture and administration.
Section 3. Cultural Innovations, the Crucible of the Deccan.
With that historical foundation laid out, let's pivot to the thematic heart of the Sultanate. The Bahmani style is a perfect example of their vibrant, cross-cultural artistic expression. It was a true synthesis blending Persian, Arab, and local Indian elements. The Sultans were literally inviting Persian scholars, Arab calligraphers, and Turkish architects right into their royal court. Talk about a melting pot. All this incredible diversity fused together. It fostered Deccani Urdu literature, kicked off Sanskrit text translations, and even gave rise to the unique Tarana style of music and dance, which, by the way, still heavily influences performing arts in South India today.
And you know, their architectural legacy is just as breathtaking. Take the Gulbarga Fort with its imposing bastions and intricate calligraphy, or the Great Mosque of Gulbarga, the Jami Masjid, which showcases these distinctive Persian arches, beautiful domes, and this massive open colonnaded courtyard. Then there's the Hassanabad Fort, completely ahead of its time with concentric defensive walls and an insanely innovative water management system. And we absolutely can't forget the mausoleum of Ahmed Shah Wali, where the carved domes literally serve as a serene reflection of religious harmony. These buildings are like silent stone witnesses to the kingdom's cosmopolitan spirit and sheer engineering mastery.
Section 4. Religion and Trade, Harmony and Prosperity.
But beyond the beautiful buildings, the true engine of the Sultanate was its socially inclusive policies. Look at this quote from the historical records. The rulers did not impose Islam on their subjects, but rather allowed them to practice their religions freely. Guys, this is a vital takeaway for us as historians. In a medieval world that was frankly fraught with conflict, the Bahmani sultans actively employed diverse peoples of various religious backgrounds in their administration. They valued skills over religious affiliations, proving that genuine pluralism actually leads to long-lasting stability and trust. It was a real game changer.
And that social stability translated directly into cold, hard wealth. Let's map out this economic flow. Step 1. Their super fertile land yielded abundant cotton, sugarcane, and rice.
Step 2, highly skilled artisans took those raw resources and crafted fine textiles, intricate metalwork, and gorgeous jewelry. Step 3, their bustling maritime ports connected all these goods directly to the huge markets of Persia, Arabia, and East Africa. This three-step sequence basically fueled an international trade network that brought back gold, ivory, and new cultural ideas that just kept enriching their society.
Section 5. Deccan Geopolitics, the Web of Alliances and War.
Of course, when you have massive wealth and a prime strategic location, you inevitably invite conflict. It's kind of the rule of history, right? So we see this dual strategy playing out. On one hand, conflict. You have these constant, fierce clashes with the ambitious Vijayanagara Empire over the incredibly fertile land of the Tungabhadra Krishna Doab. But on the other hand, alliances. They forged very strong necessary economic and cultural ties with the Arabian Peninsula and Persia. It's like walking a geopolitical tightrope, fiercely defending your borders while simultaneously reaching out across the ocean to bolster your wealth and culture.
And things got so intense that the Bahmani and the neighboring Deccan Sultanates actually set aside their own differences to form a massive coalition. This alliance ultimately led to the famous Battle of Talakota, which resulted in the defeat of the Vijayanagara Empire. Make no mistake, this specific geopolitical maneuvering permanently altered the balance of power on the Deccan Plateau. There was no going back after this.
Section 6. Decline and Successors. Fragmentation of an empire.
Now, as we know, all empires rise and fall. The twilight years of the Bahmani kingdom show history's cyclical nature at play perfectly. You had decades of succession disputes that led to some incredibly destructive civil wars. And, taking advantage of all that internal chaos, ambitious regional governors started asserting their own autonomy. Throw in simultaneous external pressure from both the Delhi Sultanate of North and Vijayanagara, and the ultimate result was the total erosion of central authority. The crucial takeaway here is that classic cause and effect. Internal strife created the absolute perfect storm, allowing external pressures to come in and shatter the Sultanate.
But it wasn't the end. From the ashes rose these 5 distinct Deccan Sultanates. Ahmednagar carried on their massive administrative influence. Berar maintained strict regional autonomy. Bidar became this amazing hub of cultural heritage. Bijapur grew famous for its architectural marvels, and Golconda became world-renowned for its legendary diamond mines. So instead of completely vanishing, each of these states basically acted as a torchbearer for a specific piece of the Bahmani legacy for the next 150 years.
Before we wrap up our lecture, we really need to look at the immense, lasting impact this single empire had on shaping the political and cultural contours of modern India. I mean, their revenue and judicial systems were so highly efficient that they were later emulated by the British colonial administration. They set deeply ingrained precedents for religious tolerance. Their flourishing maritime trade routes laid the very economic foundations for modern South Indian ports. And they birthed a uniquely syncretic South Indian cultural tapestry that remains incredibly vibrant to this very day.
So before we go, I want to leave you with a question. If an empire fragments, but its culture, its architecture, and its administrative systems endure for literally centuries, did it ever truly fall? I'll leave you at that provocative thought to ponder. I really encourage you to look closer at the enduring shadows cast by the mighty Bahmani Sultans. Keep analyzing, keep exploring, and I will catch you in the next explainer.